What's happening, everybody? How the hell y'all making out? Had a fun talk with my guest for today, who is David Delaney, who plays in the band Them Evils from California. I was able to catch up with David during Them Evils' first headlining tour of the U.S., and it was a nice day, so we were actually able to catch up on a rooftop where we did the interview, and we talked about small clubs versus big clubs, Vistalite kits versus weirdo Peavey kits, how a sound check led to them touring with Zakk Sabbath, and stage pranks on said tour, moshing your way to the hospital, and playing through injuries. Plus embracing the touring life, how he initially got into drums, dangerous day jobs, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, that's a fucking mouthful, and a whole lot more. And I'm actually amazed that I was able to get through that without messing up their name. I swear, when I look at Them Evils, it gives me dyslexic fits, and I see the Melvins, or Trap Them, or Trap Them Evils, or Trap Them Evil Melvins. In any case, it's just Them Evils. Shout out to my sponsor, NewOrleansRecordPress.com. Put out vinyl if you're going to put out physical copies of your project. And no better place to start than NewOrleansRecordPress.com. View printing, mastering, packaging, vinyl coloring options, and get real-time quotes and more. And with a quicker turnaround than most in the industry and competitive prices, you might as well hit them up. It's NewOrleansRecordPress.com, y'all. Hook it up, you vinyl-loving savages. And now, here we go. David Delaney, Them Evils. Crash, bang, boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
Thank God we didn't get too far into this.
Wow. For those of you listening to this who missed it, we started this and I hadn't hit the record button. You know, I had
That's
one
right.
job and I couldn't even quite get that right. Oh, boy.
It's all good, man.
All right. So we're here in New York. We're on a rooftop. It's beautiful out. We got a great view of Brooklyn and the city. How's it going, man?
Not bad. Just trying to take all this in while I can. How long do we got up here, man?
We can come back up a little bit later, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I mean, this view is pretty crazy. And before they build any more towers, as you can see, they got one tower there, another tower there. Sooner or later, the view will be obstructed. But for now, you can see pretty much the entire island
That's
of Manhattan.
why I took photos once I got up here. You know,
Yeah.
It won't look the same next time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, speaking of being in New York, man, what brought y'all here? What's happening?
Well, right now we're doing our headlining tour, promoting our new EP that we just released last Friday.
Rolling Stoned and Being Free?
And Living Free.
Living Free.
Close.
So fucking close, man.
I mean, I only told you like 5 minutes ago, so it's fine. It's fine.
How's it been going thus far?
It's been fun, man. We've been out since April. Did a little West Coast run with our boys in Red Sun Rising. Then did Welcome to Rockville and Carolina Rebellion. And now we have Rock on the Range coming up in a week from now, actually, thinking about it. And so in between all those festivals, we've been doing our headlining shows and now it's landed in New York. It's good to be here. It's always a fun time. As chaotic as it may be, I love it.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably slightly different from where you live in California.
Very much.
Yeah.
It's more compact here.
Oh, fuck yeah. Everything is built vertically. At least when you look at Manhattan, there's no more space to expand horizontally.
Yeah,
So,
whereas we take over valleys of like emptiness and just throw apartment buildings there.
yeah, level mountains and the whole shit,
Exactly.
right? Well, tonight y'all are playing at St. Vitus, a great club. Have y'all played at Vitus before?
Never at Vitus.
Okay.
We're looking forward to it. I walked in the place and it's just like oozes rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of great bands going through there all the time, so it's nice to finally make our name there.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great system for such a small place. They really crank it, and it shows sound awesome. As far as a smaller venue, I don't know of one anywhere in any of the boroughs really that sounds better than Vitus.
I think we were at Terminal 5 with the Pretty Reckless last time we were here. So, I mean, it's definitely a change, but
Yeah.
I kind of like small club shows, get closer to everybody.
In full disclosure, Terminal 5 is my least favorite venue in all of the boroughs. So we went from being having my favorite sound system to actually being my least favorite. You're not
Good to know.
Yeah, Terminal 5. The problem with the place, and not to go on an endless rant about this venue that you probably had a good time playing at.
It was cool.
It was cool. The way that it's set up from the audience perspective with the different levels, it's hard to get a view of anything, and 9 times out of 10 the sound is just kind of fucked up there.
Yeah, I honestly don't know because I got cymbals blaring in my ear all night.
Right.
So, I mean, as far as the front of house concerned, I wouldn't be able to relate.
Right. Well, y'all should be sounding pretty awesome tonight, so that's exciting.
It's good to know, man.
Yeah, man. Are you playing now on this trip? Did you not bring your kit out here?
I did bring it, but for the sake of the load-in situation out here, usually have nowhere to park, and we had started unloading, but then I noticed there was a Starland kit in there, so I was like, fuck it, I'll use it. But usually I have my Ludwig Vistalite acrylic kit.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd have it. I was kind of wanting to hear it.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to let you down tonight.
Damn it. Come
Damn
on.
it.
I actually have I believe it's a 74 clear Ludwig Vistalite.
Yeah, mine's a reissue. It's not original, unfortunately.
Well, did you record with that kit?
Yeah, on this new EP I did. And actually on the one before that, too.
Okay. See, that's the thing about the newer kits. I think with the hardware, the better bearing edges, and just generally better solidly built shells that they're building now, you can record with them.
Yeah, there's a lot of improvements on the newer kits, definitely.
Yeah.
But who doesn't love the original?
Yeah. I mean, that live in a live setting, I absolutely love Vistalites.
They're so powerful.
Yeah.
Just boomy, go right through your heart, man.
It's quintessential rock drumming.
Uh-huh.
It all goes back to Bonham. I think Bonham forever set the template with that.
Seriously.
But he once again, going back to what I said, he didn't record with the acrylic kits in the studio. Those were all wood drums. So I think they definitely have improved, and I've been seeing more and more people actually recording in the studio with acrylic drums. That's
It's one of those things where you want something and then you get it, like thinking it's such a rare thing to have, and then once you're out there, you notice they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been numerous times where, for example, on the Alter Bridge tour we did last February, Nonpoint was right after us, and he had an acrylic kit too.
Oh,
so
shit.
It was, and then Joey on the Zakk Sabbath
Had a
tour had
clear
one
DW.
too. So I mean, clearly it's the right choice for a live setting, an acrylic kit.
Yeah.
But I feel like I now need to change it up a little bit. They're everywhere.
I know, man. You can go back to one of those. I don't know if you ever saw them, but Peavey for a while made drums, and there were these ridiculously shaped drums that it was like a loose L shape, and
Really?
that was their deal. And they had these weird rims that like bulged out. So all I'm saying is,
I haven't heard
if you
of
want a
these.
kit that no one wants to play and they think looks like shit, you could definitely get that one, and no one else will have it.
I won't take it to that drastic measure. I was thinking more so like just try some weird patterns, like as far as my drum heads, I guess. Like mix in some black heads with some white coated heads or something. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'll get back to you.
Absolutely. All right, I'm keeping my ears and eyes open for this.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of playing out there with Zakk Sabbath, that's how I originally sort of heard about y'all. I know y'all did a run with them. Tell me a little bit about going out with them and seeing Joey Castillo fucking drum pounding every night and the whole nine. How was that?
That guy is an animal, man.
Yeah,
he's a huge influence on me. So it was already pretty exciting for me. So night after night, and like us developing like a relationship and stuff, it was really cool. He's a really stand-up guy, and it's actually funny. There's a story about the last night on that tour. So we were in the middle of our set, and I mean, we were really cool with all the crew and stuff. We were always on time with our sets and stuff. We didn't really give them any reason to hate us. So we were in Destin, Florida, And so we were like on our second to last song, and all of a sudden the crew from Zakk Sabbath starts coming on stage and taking random pieces of my drum kit off stage.
Nice.
So we were like, oh crap, I think, are we going over our set time? Like, we're usually pretty good about this. What's happening? And so then they take what they do, and then I think I have like my floor tom, like one of my crashes to the left, and my ride and hi-hat and my snare.
Yeah.
So half my kit's gone, wondering what the hell am I going to do? I'm in the middle of a song too, so
Yeah.
I'm constantly having to adjust as I'm playing. And so like, okay, they're just messing with me now. It was one of those we had never had a tour prank pulled on us ever.
They pulled one on you.
They pulled a tour, that was it.
Yeah.
And so then the last song's halfway through, have one on me, and Joey comes up with my drum kit that was missing, the pieces, and puts them back in place and just give me the rock horns and walked off. I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were y'all able to hang out with Zakk Wylde? I've talked to you about it before on the podcast. His Instagram is hilarious. And
it is, right?
Anytime he's talking, he loves talking about uterus deadlifts and blowing out his fallopian tubes.
I know.
What's up with that guy, man?
That guy is something else. I wasn't sure what to expect going into it because I hadn't followed his Instagram prior. So it was so crazy. Like the first night, we're waiting for them to finish sound checking. They finish. Then he walks right up to us. We're all just standing in the crowd waiting to put our gear up on stage, and we're just like, oh my God, he's coming up to us. So we're all like in conversation, and he was going off on some political rants, or like at the moment it was the NFL taking a knee during the national anthem. Right. It was just all these random topics I wouldn't expect to talk about with Zakk Wylde.
Right.
And then it got to a point where it's like, okay, guys, we're ready for you to bring your gear up. So we have to walk away from Zakk Wylde while he's talking to us, which is the weirdest feeling. It's like I don't want to be disrespectful at all to you, sir.
Right.
Oh my God. And I mean, he's hilarious, man. It was really good spending time with him, and we ran into him at the Rockville Festival because Ozzy was headlining the night we played.
Oh, awesome.
So it was good. It's always good running into all those guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Him and his guitar tech Steven, and Blasco, who was also part of Zakk Sabbath.
Right.
So yeah, we became good friends, and then not to mention he came out of nowhere and surprised us with the endorsement, if you will call it that, and a couple articles. It's just such an honor. I didn't realize we left such an impact on him.
How did he become aware of y'all in the first place?
It was at the Louder Than Life Festival 2016. So we were opening. We did a whole thing the whole weekend of the festival. We did the pre-party, and then we were on one of the festival dates, did some acoustic stuff, signings. And so Blasco had heard our sound check for the day we played the festival. And so I don't know, he clearly liked it, so he came up and saw us when we were actually playing and stood there the whole time watching us, and like even yelled at our guitar player Jordan, "Hey, sign my tits." and so after that, we just met Blasco, talked with him, and then that's when I first met Joey, because Zakk Sabbath was playing a different stage the same day.
Okay.
So we just continued keeping in touch with each other, and then eventually there was an opening for a tour, and it was awesome enough to have us on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. How are y'all able to balance life and being able to tour and go out and not have any major adult responsibilities?
Well, jobs is a huge thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I luckily work for family companies back home, so it's
Nice.
easy to get time off for myself. And then Jordan's a bartender, and Jay kind of picks up whatever jobs he can.
Okay.
With the time that we have back home.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're all pretty close together as far as where we live, like about 20 minutes away from each other. So we all congregate at my house and rehearse whenever time is available. And I mean, all our efforts really go into this band. It's not like we let things like being in relationships with girlfriends and or jobs. We don't let it tie us down, really.
Yeah.
'Cause, we all feel like this is what we were meant to do right here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome, man. It's great to hear a young person talking about focus and dedication. And my 42-year-old self, who has a wife and a child and a dog and a cat and all the things and a job and all the things that completely cripple your ability to go on tours that.
Don't get us wrong. Like, me and Jordan do have girlfriends, but I don't know how we've gotten away with the stuff we have this far without them like throwing us to the curb. You know, they don't mind it. They're totally in for it.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to just roll with that ball while I can.
Well, I guess, y'all are handsome, charming young men, and you just have ladies that are enamored by your incredible behavior and awesome fortitude as human beings.
That's right. I guess, yeah.
That's how it is.
I'm blown away by it myself, so.
That's hilarious, man. What got you into drums in the first place? How'd you find the instrument?
Well, music's been around me forever.
Did you grow up in a musical family?
I had an uncle that was a guitar player, like back in the 80s when it was like punk rock more so. But I don't know, just music always reached out to me in a way that nothing else really could. And I would always look forward to like car drives with my parents when they'd play. K-Rock is the station back at home that was the big thing that played the hot rock, alternative, whatever, have you. And I don't know. I guess I just started tapping the rhythms on my legs.
Yeah.
And it eventually drove my family crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, my grandma would always, like, swat my hand, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, quit it. And I'd just be continuously tapping on things, and my parents said, okay, so you're clearly into music, so we'll get you a Roland kit, electronic kit.
Oh, nice.
And we'll see how that works out. If you stick with it, maybe we can look into a full acoustic set. And so then I think that was like 10, 11 years old at the time. And I started playing with the school band in middle school, and I don't know. It's just something that I always stuck with. I was always trying out different things, hoping that I would find what I liked, and that just always came back.
Yeah.
And then I met Jordan and Jake like 3, 4, actually 5, 6 years ago. Damn. Didn't realize that much time passed, but
get used to it.
Seriously. So then once I met Jake and Jordan, after I auditioned for a ton of bands, because I was in some cover bands, and it just was something that I wanted to move past. I wanted to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then when I met Jake and Jordan, we jammed some demo songs they had at the time, along with some Alice in Chains and Metallica covers. And then at those moments right there, I was thinking, this is it. It's rock and roll. It's people my age, and we're all good-looking dudes, so let's take over the world.
Yeah, man, that helps. Being handsome is definitely a plus. Yeah. Might as well embrace it if you got it, right?
That's right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So we're well on our way to reaching our goal. It's been a hell of a 2 years. Going on tour with like the Pretty Reckless, Alter Bridge, Zakk Sabbath.
Yeah.
It's I don't want it to ever end.
Yeah.
Gotta say that.
So when you at this point, you've enjoyed being on the road and just waking up in different towns every day, and the travel
constantly
and
being on the move.
Yeah, like sharks.
Really?
So that is something that you've enjoyed thus far, and you could see yourself doing going forward.
That's right. We're trying to get ourselves over to Europe and so on. We haven't quite got across the pond yet, but
Okay.
that's definitely a near future goal for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, based on how this new EP's been going, the amount of response we've been getting, it's been awesome. So
Yeah.
I'd say it's gonna be coming around soon before you know it. We got a lot of people waiting for us out there.
Okay.
So I'm ready to bring it.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience for sure, and I think you have an interesting perspective on touring in general, because I think that y'all have had a pretty rapid ascent and played some really good shows early in your careers, both as musicians and as a band. Mm-hmm. So it was different for me, whereas I never really had that. So when I went to Europe, I was just so happy to see people who didn't know us and weren't familiar with us, but were inquisitive enough to go to a show to watch bands from another country. And they were super into it.
Yeah.
And so that whole concept is not something that really happens here in the States.
No.
So if they are familiar with it and coupled with people who are just interested to see what you're doing, I would imagine that the response would be pretty good when you're there.
Yeah, I agree completely. Perfect example that I think of is the Pantera videos of when they were in Moscow, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
I want that. I want those people like at our show going nuts. And I mean, I love playing like in my home country and everything, but half the time you'll go to like heavily populated areas like New York or LA or Chicago, and half the time the people, I mean, they'll like be bobbing their heads and you can tell they're into it, but they're not willing to go like the extra mile to like show how into it they are, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Not that that's always the response we get in those places, but...
Well, I think there is a sort of cooler and holier than thou sort of approach to where people... I can never tell if they're just sort of dead inside and they don't react physically to music, or if it's a cultural thing.
It's probably...
It's a little bit of both. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Then again, in places like this, you get that stuff every night.
Yeah.
So I guess it's more like, oh, I've seen this already sort of thing.
Sure.
You know?
A little jaded maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, we've done well here.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. What's one of the stranger shows you've played?
One of the stranger shows.
Well, you could certainly tell me about the show where you incurred a bit of an injury after it.
Oh, wow. Well, I wasn't playing at that show.
Oh, you weren't?
No,
okay.
I wasn't playing that
That's
show.
good.
I did have an injury in playthrough. So I remember I was working at my day job. I'm an electrician when I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So I remember I was cutting through a piece of sheet metal.
Oh, boy.
And then the drill caught onto the metal, and
boy.
it started spinning like fast speed. And then it just shunk right on my index finger right here.
Oh, I see the scar.
Yeah. So I thought I had lost my finger for a second. I'm just like, oh, my God. Yeah,
sheet metal.
Freaking out. And I was supposed to play a show at the Viper Room that night. And I have this like hanging finger on me. So I'm already 10 minutes away from where I'm supposed to be in an hour or so. So I had to drive back home to Orange County in like 2 hours of traffic, go to a urgent care, get stitches, and then drive back to LA to play the show.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was my index finger. I mean, I couldn't grip around my stick. So it was literally like I was E.T. I had a huge ass bandage around my finger, so I just was pointing with the stick going along my finger. So it was quite a challenge.
For those of you listening to this who can't see the scar, it's exactly where on the index finger the stick would pretty much be.
Yeah,
it's
right where the knuckle by your fingertip is.
Yeah.
Going across it. It hurt like a son of a bitch. But so I remember, there was that show, and then I had to play another one in Vegas the next night.
Oh, boy.
And I remember that one, I hit my finger on the rim of my tom.
Oh, God.
When I was in the middle of a drum solo. And then I totally like inside, and I like did a slight hesitation, but then I continued with the drum solo, even though it kind of sucked at that point.
Yeah.
And then the drum solo was over. There was not a single applause at all.
Oh, no.
Because I blew it by hitting my finger.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that could be the weirdest show.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah. You got, I think, because Dave Grohl, he's one of my biggest influences of all time.
Uh-huh.
So considering that guy broke his foot and came back and finished the show,
Yeah.
I got to live up to standards like that.
Right.
I can't let something, I mean, not that it's silly. It was pretty painful, but
Yeah.
I can't let it bring me down.
Yeah. I hear you. I full on broke my hand and had to play. I was casted up, so I just could not play. But I played shortly thereafter and just had to play through pain and the stiffness of my hand that actually mishealed and locked up on me a little bit. So the way I held the stick, everything was fucked up. And I mean, this knuckle is. I'm like, I got a knuckle in the wrong place. It's my whole hand fucking. And it's from a barroom brawl of all things.
I would think that might have me beat here.
That one was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. I'd canceled shows a couple of times from spraining my ankle. One time because I jumped over a fence to catch my cat who had run out the house, and I was drunk, and I twisted my ankle, and I had to cancel shows because it was my right foot, and I could not play. It was a sprain, and I couldn't move it. You know,
I can't believe that.
So I've had some dumb shit, happen. It's it's what happens sometimes when you get a little silly.
I know. I mean, that wasn't my case. I wish it was more that case. It had to be my day job.
Right.
I guess that's another reson why I need to get out of that line of work.
Or just wear metal gloves when you work. But then that's bad for electricity, right?
Yeah, very much.
Not what you want to wear.
Yeah, there's got to be some middle ground there.
Yeah, Kevlar maybe? I don't know. Fuck. Some sort of bulletproof, flexible, malleable material. Mm-hmm. Well, tell me the story that you told me a little bit earlier about the injury that you got that wasn't on a gig that you played.
Yeah, that was it was at Knotfest in San Bernardino 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And it was day 2, and I was going to see Of Mice and Men. And so I'm a big mosh pit guy. I go in mosh pits whenever I can.
Are you really? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That, by the way, that's a great way to get injured, by the way.
Yeah, I know. But usually I'm pretty good with myself in those situations. I don't get too carried away. I don't see red completely.
Right.
So they call it was back actually when they still had Austin Carlisle, and he called out the crowd to open up a wall of death.
Oh, wow. You were in that?
Yeah.
Oh, you psycho.
And so it wasn't the initial collision of the wall, though. It was so the wall collided, and then it was starting to get back into the circular motion. And there was some guy, he tripped over something, I don't know. And then the back of his head came to my face and, like, whacked me.
Oh.
And then I ended up biting through my entire lip.
Dude.
So you can't see it now because there's, like, a little but right here, I bit through my lip. And then, so I had never been in the medical tent ever, so I didn't know how this drill worked. So they're sitting me down, cleaning me up, trying to tell me to get in the ambulance. And I'm like, yeah, no, my health bill will skyrocket. So, no, I'll take my chances elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stay, but they said, yeah, if you don't get this stitched up in the next 2 hours, you're going to have a pretty bad-looking face. And
you got to stay handsome. Got to stay handsome.
So then I get in my car, and I'm driving through traffic going back to Orange County, and I have a huge piece of gauze on my face with one hand and the other on the steering wheel. Yeah. Just like, oh, God, yeah, how did I get myself here? And then ended up getting like 8 stitches on my mouth.
Oh, dude.
And then that was it.
For those of you that have never had to been sutured, it's not the cut that is always the worst, but the shots that they have to give you inside the cut to numb it so they can sew you up. That is fucking terrible.
It's the worst. Just like tears streaming down my face. I'm trying to keep my composure here, but it's on my mouth. It's not like
brutal.
It's not on my hand or anything.
Jesus Christ, man. Well, I would say of the bands that I think y'all kind of fall in line a little bit with are bands like Rival Sons or that artist I forget his actual name, but Rain Wolf. Like I don't know if you know him.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome.
Where has that guy been, man? We talk about that so much. He put out how many songs did he have? Like 2 or 3?
Yeah.
And then he toured with Black Sabbath, and then nobody ever saw him again.
That's so weird.
Supposedly, what I hear, it's because I guess he might have been too articulate on how his record was going to sound, so like it drove people crazy.
Oh, really?
But I really wouldn't know.
Really?
That's just what I hear.
Yeah. I know he's originally from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. So
that's fun to say.
Isn't it? I know. It sounds like Yosemite Sam, like just a town of Yosemite Sams and like old parlor doors and fucking donkeys and scantily clad women. It sounds like a fun place is what I'm getting at.
It does. I agree. Let's go there.
So apparently he's from there. Maybe your band can go play there at some point.
I hope so. I mean, we've been to Toronto a few times, but never outside of that, I guess.
Yeah. I have a drummer buddy of mine that lives very close to there. He's actually in Regina, not to be confused with the obvious way you could mix that one up. But he said that a few winters back, it was colder than the surface of the moon. And he said when you would walk outside, you would cry, but then the tears would freeze your face and burn your face. I'm not even making that up. It was that cold.
Jesus. I mean, I like the cold, but you're starting to scare me.
Definitely don't go there during the winter. You can't go there during the winter. No one can. It's ridiculous.
Oh, man. I mean, this is even pretty chilly for myself.
It is a little chilly, man. Do you want my hoodie? I can clothe you.
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'll make it.
Question for you, man. In talking about bands like Rain Wolf and Rival Sons and yourselves, what are some of your classic rock influences, man? I know, like, growing up, like I said, I'm 42, so in New Orleans and in Southeast Louisiana, there was a record station or a radio station, WRNO, and that was just like the super solid classic rock radio station. So that's kind of where I was hearing it. You know, are there any particular classic rock bands that you're a fan of, or any particular drummers from classic rock bands that you're a fan of?
I mean, we have like a mutual influence between me and the other guys of bands like AC/DC, Motorhead, Zeppelin and Sabbath.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are given answers. But Queens of the Stone Age is my favorite band of all time right now.
Really?
Yeah. I can't say right now. It's always been.
Yeah.
I saw them on my 21st birthday.
For what record?
I mean, they were promoting like clockwork, but
okay. Wow, you're young.
Yeah.
You 26?
Yeah, but I honestly know all their records from front to back, sideways, and so on.
Yeah.
They're just a band that no matter what song I hear, I'm going to be shaking my ass to it. Like, I just get it. I don't know.
100%.
And they were actually at both of the 2 festivals we played recently, and it was really cool. We got to run into them and hang with them side stage a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just love how there's no band like them, really, in my opinion. I think they're so unique as far as the kind of riffs they come with, and they just got such a groove, man. I can't really think of any other band that puts me in that kind of feeling.
Yeah. When I heard that they locked up with John Theodore on the drums, I was like, "Oh shit!"
And he had a Ludwig acrylic kit.
Yes, he did.
Too.
A red one.
Yes, he's the only drummer that I admire to death that actually plays a Ludwig acrylic.
Really?
The original, you know?
Yeah. The first time I saw him, he was playing with his band Golden, so this was pre him getting into the Mars Volta, who I also saw him play with, which was amazing. But he was actually playing a clear Fibes kit, and I've never said it on this podcast, but the reason why I got my clear acrylic kit was from seeing him play his clear Fibes kit that night.
I don't blame you, man.
And I got a Ludwig, of course, and then eventually he went to Ludwig, you know. But when I first saw him, that was actually the catalyst for me getting clear acrylic kits. I was like, well, if he sounds that good on it, meanwhile, that guy could fucking sound amazing on pots, pans, cardboard, whatever you put him on. But that drum set sounded amazing. He was amazing. So. And
that was also another cool thing about running into Joey, because he was involved in that. So I got to find out little things about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that band just gets me.
Yeah.
It knows what I want to hear.
Fucking A, man. Well, dude, it looks like we could almost get rained on. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is looking overcast.
Yeah, that doesn't look pretty. I didn't realize it because it was coming from behind me.
Exactly. But, man, it was fun talking to you. Good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing y'all tonight. And, yeah, man, best of luck, man.
Yeah, go buy our record, Rolling Stone Living Free, out now everywhere. And themevils.com has any way you can find us or want to know anything about us. And we got a new music video coming out, too. So,
okay.
For Got Me Rockin', so keep an eye out. There's a lot of shit coming your way.
Nice. Don't cut any fingers off. Don't slash any of your faces.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. Y'all should be good to go.
Yeah, we got wood right here.
Sweet.
You planned this out.
Exactly. Good talking to you, man.
Good. Thank you, man.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to David for rapping with me on a rooftop in Brooklyn. It was a nice day, and it was a good talk, and some beers were had, and some shit talking commenced. That's how I like to do it. Check out Them Evils' new EP, Rolling Stone and Living Free. Links to the new video in the description. We'll catch you on the next one. Crash, bang, boom.